And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the heart of the Inland Empire, right here in sunny Southern California, it's Robert Cardoza Live, where we talk about politics, money, and you. This is the intersection of business and politics. And now here's your host, Robert Cardoza.
And welcome aboard. I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza Live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. And boy, have we got a fantastic show for you today. I've got lots of controversy, a lot of things going on. Might as well just tell you, it's the same show as usual. We're going to do what's in the news, new legislation, the IRS loses, and then we'll continue our segment, the tribute to the late, great Paul Harvey, and the rest of the story. Today's story is, hey, the Forgotten King. Yeah, you're going to love it. You're not going to really know what it's all about, but it's going to be terrific, and at the end it'll shock you. And then, of course, we'll have a little later on in the show, we'll have Joe Hakos here. Joe and I will be talking about conservative politics on our semi-weekly simulcast. Jon Matthews is celebrating his anniversary in the Philippines with his lovely wife, and so we'll just be Joe and I'm pretty sure we'll be talking about the inauguration and the first day of Trump and all that kind of stuff. We'll see what happens. And then after that, we'll be talking to our own little old wine drinker, John Hansen. He'll be here. We'll be talking about food and wine and all those kinds of things. But right off, I want you to know that at 3:02 p.m. Pacific time, currently 48 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. That's on its way down to 37 degrees. But let's get to it. Let's just get into the news. And here's right off the top. Trump moves to pull the United States out of the Pacific Rim trade deal. That's the PPT, in case you're wondering. President Donald Trump moved to pull the United States out of the proposed Trans-Pacific Partnership Trade Pact just today, dealing a quick blow to Barack Obama's legacy as the new chief executive began fulfilling campaign promises in his first full week in office. Great thing for the American worker that we just did, Trump said in a brief remark as he signed a notice in the Oval Office. The president also signed memorandums freezing most federal government hiring, though he noted an exception for the military and reinstating a ban on providing federal money to international groups that perform abortions or provide information on the option. The regulation known as the Mexico City policy has been a political volleyball instituted by Republican administrations and rescinded by Democratic ones since 1984. Following a tumultuous first weekend in office consumed by Trump's criticism of the media's inauguration coverage and his spokesman's angry, inaccurate trade against journalists, I should say tirade against journalists, the president was seeking to refocus on the sweeping yet often vague promises that he made as a candidate. He campaigned as a fierce opponent to multilateral trade agreements, particularly the 12-nation Pacific Rim deal. The deal was the cornerstone of Obama's attempt to counter China's influence in Asia. The Obama administration labored for years to finalize TPP, but Obama's own Democratic Party was skeptical of the pact, and the former president never sent it to Congress for ratification. As Trump pressed forward with executive actions, a legal watchdog group filed a lawsuit alleging that he is violating the so-called emoluments clause in the Constitution by allowing his business to accept payments from foreign governments. The liberal-funded watchdog group, Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics, says the clause prohibits Trump from receiving money from diplomats for stays at his hotels or from foreign governments for leases of office space in his buildings. You know what? These guys are just going too far. Asked about the suit, Trump just said it was totally without merit. These guys is another one of those things where let's take his time up and divert his thinking to something that is absolutely a non-starter. He's got this thing pretty well covered, I think. And Tillerson is heading for confirmation as Secretary of State. President Donald Trump's nominee for Secretary of State headed for approval in a key Senate committee today after Florida Senator Marco Rubio announced his support, backing off from the challenge to the new president. Rubio said that despite serious reservations about former ExxonMobil CEO Rex Tillerson, particularly over his views on Russia, he believes the president was entitled to significant difference in assembling his cabinet. Despite my reservations, I will support Mr. Tillerson's nomination and committee and in the full Senate, said Rubio, who'd come under strong pressure from fellow Republicans to back the nomination and avoid dealing Trump an embarrassing setback in the early days of his presidency. Well, we'll see if that continues on or if that becomes part of the what they call the honeymoon. I think I said it to you on Friday. I'll say it again today. I think we're about to see a history in the making. I think we're going to see the most efficient 100 days, the biggest change, the most important 100 days in any president's term. And I think we're going to see it because that is going to be the legacy of Donald Trump. This guy's he's hit the ground running, whether you like him or not. Well, how about this? Talks on Syria's civil war off to a rocky start. Talks between Syrian government and representatives of rebel factions got off to a rocky start today after their first face-to-face meeting in Kazakhstan. I'm sorry. Sometimes those things are tough. That marked a major shift in the war's dynamics and confirmed Russia's role as regional heavyweight. The gathering in Astana, the Kazakh capital, is the latest in a long line of diplomatic initiatives aimed at ending the nearly 6-year-old civil war, which has killed hundreds of thousands of people and displaced half of Syria's population. Do you get that? Half. The talks are focused on shoring up a shaky ceasefire declared December the 30th, not on reaching a larger political settlement. Syria's bitter divide was on vivid display as the delegates emerged from the closed hour-long session and marked by cold glances and sharp exchanges. Well, we'll see what happens. I wouldn't hold out a lot of hope for any surprises there. That's for sure. And you know what? Marking Roe anniversary, abortion foes pin hopes on Trump. Abortion opponents expressed optimism today that Donald Trump's early months in office would advance their cause as hundreds converged on the Kansas State House to mark the 1973 Supreme Court decision that legalized abortion nationwide. Trump, inaugurated on last Friday, has promised to fill a vacancy on the Supreme Court with what he has called a pro-life justice and has said that he would sign anti-abortion measures approved by the Republican-controlled Congress. Even as GOP governors and legislators enacted a raft of new anti-abortion laws over the past decade, the movement faced a big obstacle from Democrat Barack Obama's 8 years as president. I have high expectations, said Karen Capron, a 69-year-old retired chemist from the Kansas City suburb of Mission, who has been active in anti-abortion movement for more than 4 decades. The more you hear about him, Trump that is, the more I think that I can be very helpful in the pro-life movement. Well, some longtime anti-abortion activists and local private school students attended the annual Rally for Life one day after the 44th anniversary of the Roe v. Wade ruling. The rally, which is regularly the largest annual political event at the Capitol in Topeka, was accompanied by worship services and workshops, a prelude to the movement's paramount event, the annual March for Life on Friday in Washington, D.C. Now, don't go away. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Bush is ready to leave intensive care, and the wife, Barbara, well, she's going home already. We'll be right back, and I'll tell you more about it right after all these brief messages. Don't go away.
If you want to increase your client base and sales, then consider this, the Relationship Building Network at RBN. Given the current economic conditions and challenges, we all need to work smarter, make smarter decisions, invest our hard-earned dollars where it'll yield the best return for our investment. Many business professionals claim that the most effective networking group in Orange County is RBN. No other networking group or organization can offer what RBN offers. Make every year your best year. Join RBN and start reaping the benefits today. You know, nearly 3,000 businesses have joined RBN and experienced those benefits. Why join RBN? It's one group. It's one membership. It's no renewals. It's all through Orange County. RBN is a freestyle networking group. No mandatory attendance, no restrictions, no rules, and no penalties. Call them at 949-830-5776 or go to their website at rbninfo.com. That's 949-830-5776. If you've ever dreamed of having your own business to make your life secure, you know Water's Edge Wineries might be just the ticket. In 2004, their founder, Ken Leinberger, created the first winery franchise in California. It was a new concept with all of the functionality of a traditional winery, but without the vineyards. They purchase high-quality grape must from one of the largest winemaking companies in the world. Then they craft each wine carefully and bottle it right at their location. The winery was built to satisfy consumer demand for wine by the bottle and by the glass, but still kept the element of allowing customers to bottle their own custom vintage. Now, they're opening urban wineries across the United States under the brand Water's Edge Wineries. If you've ever dreamed of owning your own winery, it may be in reach right now through Water's Edge Wineries. Just give them a call at 909-468-9463, extension 700. That's Water's Edge Wineries, 909-468-9463. Have you ever found yourself caught between a rock and a hard place? The law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett might be just the answer for you. The attorneys of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett have been serving the Inland Empire since 1989. They're dedicated to the aggressive litigation of civil, criminal, and real estate matters. Over the years, they have recovered tens of millions of dollars for their clients. The firm's practice specializes in litigation of personal injury, accident, slip and fall, real estate, and criminal law cases. The firm provides clients with the care, accuracy, and dedication of experienced attorneys. Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett is located at 10300 4th Street, Suite 150 in Rancho Cucamonga, California. They've been providing the Inland Empire residents with outstanding legal services for over 25 years. They look forward to providing you with aggressive legal representation. Call them at 909-945-5000, where you can talk to a person, not a machine. That's 909-945-5000, the law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. And yep, we're talking news. But you know what? Bush is ready to leave intensive care while his wife Barbara goes home. Former President George H.W. Bush is still suffering from pneumonia, but is well enough to leave the intensive care unit at a hospital in Houston, doctors said just today. Now, his wife Barbara had been discharged from the same facility after completing treatment for bronchitis. The 92-year-old former president was struggling to breathe when he was admitted to the Houston Methodist Hospital on January the 14th last week. He was breathing with the aid of a ventilator in the ICU, but doctors removed the breathing tube on Friday of last week. And by today, we're talking about the possibility that he could return home soon. Dr. Amy Minders said at a news conference that the former president is sitting up, watching TV, and is waiting anxiously for his favorite oyster stew for lunch. He's on a minimal oxygen, joking and laughing with the nurses and doctors, she said. Well, you know what? All our prayers and good wishes go out to you, President Bush. You were a good guy. Yeah. Well, 3 dogs give an avalanche rescuers hope, but 22 people are missing. Italian emergency crews pulled 3 wiggling white sheepdog puppies out today from under tons of snow and rubble at an avalanche-struck hotel, lifting spirits, even as the search for 22 people still missing dragged on 5 days after the disaster. 1 more body was located, raising the death toll to 7, and the first survivors of the deadly avalanche were released from the hospital. Questions intensified, however, into whether Italian authorities underestimated the risks facing the snowbound resort in the hours before the deadly avalanche. 5 days after up to 60,000 tons of snow, rocks, and uprooted trees plowed into the Hotel Rigopiano in central Italy, rescue crews were still digging by hand or with shovels and chainsaws in hopes of finding more survivors. An excavator reached the site northeast of Rome to speed up the search. The discovery of the 3 Abruzzo sheepdog puppies in the boiler room raised spirits, even as rescuers located a 7th body. Well, you know what? Again, our prayers go out to them. Let's just hope that everything goes well. And the windows exploded. Storm death toll at 20 in the south. Yeah, you know what? A tornado warning on television sent Anthony Mitchell, his pregnant wife, and their 3 children scrambling for what little shelter their mobile home could provide. They crouched in a hallway as the twister started taking their home apart, piece by piece. The windows exploded, the doors flew off the hinges, the sheetrock started to rip off the walls and fly out the windows. Mitchell said the trailer started to lift up, and about that time, a tree fell on the trailer, and I think that's what held the trailer in place from flying away. An unusual mid-winter barrage of tornadoes and thunderstorms over the weekend was blamed for at least 20 deaths across the Deep South. Among them were the 3 people killed at Big Pine Estates, the mobile home park in Albany where the Williams family lives. Well, a twister slammed into the southwestern Georgia city by 76,000 people on Sunday afternoon, carving a path of destruction a half-mile wide in places and leaving the landscape strewn with broken trees and mangled sheet metal. Few of the roughly 200 homes at the trailer park escaped damage from the tornado, which was rated by forecasters as at least an EF2, meaning it packed winds of 111 to 135 miles per hour. Well, you know what? For you folks, if you've had a chance to see those pictures, it was absolutely devastating. I don't believe I've ever seen such destruction in my life, and I've been around a long time. Well, White House press secretary, our intention is never to lie, is what he says. White House press secretary Sean Spicer told a room full of reporters that our intention is never to lie to you, although sometimes the Trump administration may disagree with the facts. Spicer's full press conference briefing was closely held today, following a weekend statement about President Donald Trump's inauguration audience that included incorrect assertions after White House counselor Kellyanne Conway received wide social media attention for her explanation that Spicer had presented alternative facts. Monday's briefing was televised live on CNN, Fox News Channel, MSNBC, and for a time on ABC. Meanwhile, ABC announced that anchor David Muir would interview Trump for a 1-hour primetime special to air at 10 p.m. Eastern Time this Wednesday. Spicer tried to diffuse tension by opening with a self-deprecating joke about his lack of popularity, and his 78-minute session was wide-ranging and mostly substantive. He corrected one disputed statement from Saturday, defended another, and expressed some frustration regarding how the new Trump administration feels about its news coverage. Asked for a pledge not to lie, Spicer assented, saying, I believe we have to be honest with the American people, he said. He had received incorrect information about Inauguration Day readership on the Washington Metro system when he initially claimed the system was used more Friday than for Barack Obama's 2013 inauguration. There are times when you tweet something out or write a story and you publish a correction, he said. That doesn't mean that you are trying to deceive readers or the American people, does it? I think we should be afforded the same opportunity. Hear, hear. Well, don't go away. When we come back, we're going to talk about the IRS loses, and the first case up is shares value are reduced by the tax a company could actually owe. I'll tell you about that right after these brief messages.
Isn't it time to shine the spotlight on your expertise? The Interview, starring you. Here's your chance to capture 5 minutes of fame with The Interview. This isn't just any interview. This is your opportunity to showcase your expertise and position yourself as a trusted expert in a one-on-one video interview hosted by Robert Cardoza, host of the nationally syndicated show Robert Cardoza Live and powered by AHA Studios. What is it? A professionally recorded video for your use. Robert Cardoza interviews you on the set where he records his show. Professional interview showcases your expertise and value, shot in a state-of-the-art studio. And what's in it for you? Gain credibility as an expert, earn the trust of your target market, educate in a way that intrigues your audience, gain a powerful marketing tool that offers dozens of uses, website, video sharing sites, social media, email, DVDs, direct mail, lobby video, resumes, profile building, all that kind of stuff. Association with the nationally syndicated celebrity. That's right. And let's talk about AHA Studios. AHA is a strategic marketing firm that leverages the powerful in visual persuasion to help your business create powerful messages that connect with your target market. AHA ventures way beyond strategy, delivering the marketing collateral you need to start driving a new business through your doors. AHA has a full-service, in-house, state-of-the-art production studio to bring your messages to life using video. Discover how to make The Interview work for you. Call 949-831-2222. That's 949-831-2222. AHA Image Studios Incorporated. Dr. Stephen Tidwell, Gentle Family Dentistry in a caring, personalized environment. Here at Dr. Tidwell's office, we are dedicated to helping you keep your teeth healthy. We are a state-of-the-art dental practice that still believes in traditional values, such as excellent customer service and individual attention. We have a special welcoming offer for you for just $39, a complete exam, personal consultation, professional cleaning, and all necessary x-rays. That's a $266 value for $39. Dr. Tidwell has 2 convenient locations and experienced staff to provide you with professional care and personal attention that you deserve. Call today. Don't delay. A great smile another day. Call 909-944-7308. That's 909-944-7308 for Rancho Cucamonga or San Bernardino. Joel Saltzman is Dr. Wireless. He has turned his considerable expertise into consumer credit risk and wireless security into a highly specialized independent web-based consulting enterprise targeting consumer credit risk analysis and wireless transactional security and monitoring. He works as a wireless analyst, veteran independent agent, and consumer liaison for most wireless telecom carriers and equipment manufacturers. For more than 20 years, corporate and private clients and media audiences have counted on his unvarnished advice while weighing the technology, performance, and cost differences between Sprint, Nextel, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Joel specializes in setting up mobile wireless hotspots to be used for disaster preparedness, business continuity, and mobile wireless merchant processing solutions. Call Dr. Wireless at 310-400-4900 or go to his webpage at drwireless.com. Again, call 310-400-4900 or his webpage at drwireless.com. You'll be glad you did. And now, back to our show.
The story you are about to see is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza Live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. We're at 3:23 p.m. Pacific time. It is currently 48 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. It's on its way down to 38 degrees. Been raining a lot here the last few days, but the clouds have kind of cleared. The sky is blue, and there's a nice sun that's sitting out there. So that's pretty cool. If you're listening to us on our globally syndicated network and you're in New York City, well, it's 39 degrees and it's raining right now. And if you're in Chicago, Illinois, it's 42 degrees and it's a little overcast. So I kind of let you know what's going on in a couple of the cities that are getting our signal. But right now, I want to talk to you about something that's going to put a smile on your face. That is the IRS Loses. Today, we're going to talk about shares value are reduced by the tax that a company could owe. You know what? Fraser Jelke died owning shares of CCE Incorporated, which owned appreciated securities. Now, to set the value of those shares, Jelke's estate subtracted the capital gains tax CCC would owe on its investments if it sold them immediately from their value on its books. The IRS allowed no such deduction. The tax court allowed a smaller deduction, computed using what it deemed a more realistic assumption that CCC's investments would be sold gradually over 16 years. Now, the estate appealed. They went to the Court of Appeals. This is what the judge said. The tax court's 16-year assumption was arbitrary. It is more reasonable to value CCC at its current liquidation value after the gains tax. Well, you know what? The IRS just keeps trying, but if you have the ability to fight them all the way, then you should do it, especially if you're right. Well, here's one the IRS loses. A home designer may deduct equestrian expenses. Yeah, it sounds strange, but where do you get this? Tracy Topping was a noted amateur equestrian who started a design business that specialized in homes and horse barns. Now, she marketed her services through equestrian contacts by owning horses, competing in events, and being a member of the jockey club. But now, here's the snag. The IRS said that her equestrian activity was a hobby, not part of her business, and disallowed her deductions for more than, get this, $320,000 of its expenses. So she went to court. This is what the judge said. The overall business was profitable, even accounting for the equestrian costs, and 90% of its customers were obtained through equestrian contacts. So the equestrian costs were deductible as a marketing expense. Ha ha ha, there goes the IRS. Let me give you one more the IRS loses. Partners leave the partnership with no gains tax. You know what? 2 members of the partnership wanted to leave it for business reasons, so the partnership borrowed $11.9 million, and they bought notes issued by the insurer in that amount, and distributed the notes to those partners in liquidation of their interests in it. Next, the IRS said that the partners had sold their interests and imposed gains tax. The partners said that the notes were not cash, therefore they had received a tax-free exchange of property. The IRS reply was that they had received notes instead of cash, only as a tax avoidance ploy. Well, they went to court. This is what the judge said. Notes served a business purpose in letting the partners exchange one investment for another. Now that, the result happened to be tax favored. Well, too bad, IRS. It happens to be allowed. So that's the way it's going to be. Well, you've heard me talk about being a fly on the wall when the IRS is doing things. Well, that's where we're at right now with this segment we call Inside the IRS. It's just a little bit like the Twilight Zone. Okay, now, these are not tax court cases, and so you can't usually cite this as a defense in a tax court situation. But you know what? There are some common sense things to do, and especially if you know what the IRS is doing or what they're thinking. And that's what we're doing here with this Inside the IRS segment. And the first thing is, think about it. Making a deal to reduce your credit card debt? Well, that can mean problems with the IRS. If you are solvent, that means that your assets exceed your liabilities, and you compromise, which means that you settle the amount of debt owed to a credit card company, or any other creditor for that matter. The amount of debt discharged represents taxable income. Now, many credit card companies will file what they call a Form 1099-C, that's the cancellation of debt notice, with the IRS to report the amount of debt that you were relieved of paying. Now, the best approach here, though, is do not compromise your debt until you are insolvent or have the debt discharged in a bankruptcy proceeding, in which case there's going to be no tax issues involved. That's what you want to be doing. Let me give you one more here. The tax preparers illegally are claiming the earned income credit, and they're the newest IRS targets for investigation. According to the IRS, 70% of tax returns claiming the credit are prepared by professionals. There is a significant amount of abuse as professionals pad their fees by making up numbers permitting taxpayers to get these refunds. Now, get them for the earned income credit, which is a big deal, for which they do not qualify though. Now, how does this increase the preparer's income? It's easy. These preparers not only charge for the tax return preparation, but also receive fees from the lending institutions for arranging tax refund loans at very high interest rates for their low-income clients. Fees are based on the size of the loan and therefore on the size of the refund. The IRS's approach here: certain tax preparers who have been identified by the IRS are going to be visited during the year, and they're going to be shut down if these violations are detected there. And you can bet that that's exactly what they'll do. The IRS will shut you down in a heartbeat if they can. You're going into an era where the IRS is trying to eliminate professional tax preparation. So we'll see what happens with that. And if we get this tax simplification going on that Trump wants, that's going to put a majority of tax preparation people out of business. Certainly the accountants will still be there. You got to have accounting for corporations and things, but that's what we're looking. Listen, we're going to take one more break. When we come back, we're going to be joining our own Joe Hayco. So we're going to be talking about conservative politics. We'll be with Joe right after these brief messages, so please don't go away. We'll be right back.
If you want to increase your client base and sales, then consider this: the Relationship Building Network at RBN. Given the current economic conditions and challenges, we all need to work smarter, make smarter decisions, invest our hard-earned dollars where it'll yield the best return for our investment. Many business professionals claim that the most effective networking group in Orange County is RBN. No other networking group or organization can offer what RBN offers. Make every year your best year. Join RBN and start reaping the benefits today. You know, nearly 3,000 businesses have joined RBN and experienced those benefits. Why join RBN? It's one group. It's one membership. It's no renewals. It's all through Orange County. RBN is a freestyle networking group. No mandatory attendance, no restrictions, no rules, and no penalties. Call them at 949-830-5776 or go to their website at rbninfo.com. That's 949-830-5776. If you've ever dreamed of having your own business to make your life secure, you know Water's Edge Wineries might be just the ticket. In 2004, their founder, Ken Lineberger, created the first winery franchise in California. It was a new concept with all of the functionality of a traditional winery, but without the vineyards. They purchased high-quality grape must from one of the largest winemaking companies in the world. Then they craft each wine carefully and bottle it right at their location. The winery was built to satisfy consumer demand for wine by the bottle and by the glass, but still kept the element of allowing customers to bottle their own custom vintage. Now, they're opening urban wineries across the United States under the brand Water's Edge Wineries. If you've ever dreamed of owning your own winery, it may be in reach right now through Water's Edge Wineries. Just give them a call at 909-468-9463, extension 700. That's Water's Edge Wineries, 909-468-9463. Have you ever found yourself caught between a rock and a hard place? The law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett might be just the answer for you. The attorneys of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett have been serving the Inland Empire since 1989. They're dedicated to the aggressive litigation of civil, criminal, and real estate matters. Over the years, they have recovered tens of millions of dollars for their clients. The firm's practice specializes in litigation of personal injury, accident, slip and fall, real estate, and criminal law cases. The firm provides clients with the care, accuracy, and dedication of experienced attorneys. Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett is located at 10300 4th Street, Suite 150 in Rancho Cucamonga, California. They've been providing the Inland Empire residents with outstanding legal services for over 25 years. They look forward to providing you with aggressive legal representation. Call them at 909-945-5000, where you can talk to a person, not a machine. That's 909-945-5000, the law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you from the basement of his strategic planning room located at his political hideaway in Los Angeles County, the dedicated man who stands and serves the political conscience of our nation, Mr. Jon Matthews.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza Live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. Well, we're going to try and connect to Joe Hakos. John is on vacation right now. Let's see if we can get to Joe. Let's see if that, well, there we go. Let's see. It should be ringing here any second here. Come on, Joe. Ring. There we go. One ringy dingy.
Am I not speaking English?
You are.
Conservatives.net, where we speak only one language, American. Hey! Joe Hakos here. Where are the conservative syndicates? Right here. Coming to you live. That's what this is, live. It's live internet radio. And so, let me turn this on. I believe that noise we heard in the background, that was Robert Cardoza from Robert Cardoza Live. Coming on board. Robert, how are you today, sir?
Hey, I'm fine, and I'm full of apologies. I thought you were answering the phone, didn't realize you were still on your commercial break, so please accept my sincere apology.
Hey, it's all right, Bob. It's the wonders of live. It's live.
Yeah, you know what? There's a lot to be said for live. But you know what's alive? I'm alive. I mean, can you imagine the things that were happening in Washington, D.C. today, Joe? Wow. This guy is going to fulfill all of his campaign promises and just hit everybody else with a wet noodle.
I just, let's hope he keeps on going. And of course, it's only, he's been only there for his first full day, work day, quote unquote, of a work week. But, as we know from other former presidents, every day's a work day for the president of the United States, except for that last guy that was in there. He decided that, 3 days a week were work days and the rest of the days were for golf.
Yes. You know what? He treated the work day just like Joe does. Oh no, that's not Joe. I meant to say John, not Joe. Yeah. Hey, so here's the deal. Here's the deal.
John's retired. Cut the guy some slack. He's retired.
So here's the deal. I mean, think about it. He's taken the funding away from the abortion rights clinics. He has frozen needless and duplicative federal hiring. He has stopped the TPP plan in its tracks. He's already got appointments with Britain and Mexico and Canada coming up. This guy has hit the ground running, and if you don't get excited over this, you have no blood running through your veins.
Well, yeah, or you're just completely you're a Democrat, and it doesn't matter what he could move the moon and change the tides, and it wouldn't matter to you because. I'm just looking at some things. He suspended mortgage premium cuts.
Yeah.
He froze new government regulations and hiring except for the DOD.
Right.
He rolled back some of the burdens, quote unquote, burdens for Obamacare. And the one that I love so far, I love this one the best, is he got us out of the TPP.
Yep.
And he reinstated that Mexico City policy. So our folks that love babies and life, we should be happy about that one.
You know what? I said it last Friday that I think this guy's first 100 days is going to be historical. But I was thinking about it over the weekend, Joe, and I'm thinking, you know what? He ought to be able to do an awful lot in the first 100 days if he does nothing more than rescind all of those executive orders.
Oh yeah, I mean that should take on pretty much. I don't know, a rough guess. Let's see if we were going to quantify that. Good, probably 80-85% of the Obama administration.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and that just, and then Obama telling him as he's leaving office, if you want to last in effect, you need to get things done legislatively. No kidding, Sherlock.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh, but, and Obama's saying that to Trump, huh?
Yeah. Hey, guess what? The water is wet too.
You know what? I don't have the statistics in front of me, Joan. You might know, but I would be willing to guess that there is probably no president in history who has issued more executive orders than Obama has.
Oh, gee, I don't have that either because they were.
It's got to be because he couldn't get anything through the legislature.
Bob, the thing was the definition of an executive order at one time too. So I do know that he gave out the most pardons than any other president in history.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So we had our lovely individual. FARC, F-A, which blah, blah, blah. Yeah, easy for me to say.
Yeah, but yeah, it's not as easy for you to say as it would be to spell because it sounded awfully funny on this side of the microphone.
Oh, it was just awesome the way it was going. And to get it right here. Oh, here we go. That was Oscar Lopez Rivera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who was the FALN. He wanted to have Puerto Rican independence. You remember that?
Yeah.
Back in the 70s. Yeah. So hey, Obama he just proves that he just loves terrorists. He loves them.
Well, you know what? You could certainly make a case for that, and but I wanted to change the subject just a little bit. I don't know if you had a chance to see Sean Spicer do his first press conference today.
I got some bits and pieces of that. Yeah,
man, I want to tell you, this guy really. First of all, I don't know of any other press secretary that ever spent almost 2 hours with the press and answered every single question, and nobody walked on top of him. And he answered the big issue that Marianne Conaway caused because of her naming something. But he came back and defended it and found it to be true that more people did witness the inauguration of Donald Trump, both personally and on the internet, than any other president in history. And it turned out that fact was absolutely accurate and true. That the press, as usual, wanted to manipulate what was being said, nitpick what was being said. And you know what? I was just so pleased to see Sean go after the press and give them a lesson in honesty.
Yeah, that's the best part that I took out of it. It was look, we're not going to take this anymore. We're not going to sit back and let you guys run over us and define who we are. And it was funny. I was watching just a little bit of that show that's on at Fox News, that Tribe, with the $100,000 six-figure Juan Williams, who's just a complete asshat. And I apologize to all other asshats out there for including Juan Williams in that. But Dana Perino's out there, former press secretary for George W. Bush, saying this and this and this. And if I do recall, the media defined over and over George W. Bush, who he was and how his policies were, and to have her criticize anybody as a press secretary is just unfathomable to me. She is not what I would call the expert. Yeah, you stood up there and you did it.
Yeah,
but it doesn't make you the queen of all on press secretaries.
Well, that's for sure. One of the things that I really enjoyed was when Spicer actually came out and said, "Hey, look, any of you reporters out there ever make a mistake that you had to say you were sorry for, and you had to say you were wrong, and yet you can print a retraction and you can do all these things, and it doesn't hit the news, it doesn't do anything. But God forbid we should use a wrong word someplace, or you misunderstand us and you just castigate us."
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I saw that, and they were talking about, oh, you guys think this, and the reports came out yesterday. I just saw it today, just on our break there. I went in and I saw it on the monitor. Fox News has just reported on the same thing I just got done talking about here on the show, about the State Department lying about the deletion of video on the Iran deal.
Yeah. You know, the other thing, right, I don't know if you got to see it, Joe. During this press conference, one of the reporters questioned the fact that when Donald Trump went to the CIA, he brought 10 of his own, or a number of his own people, and sat them right up in the front chairs. And so what Sean did was he had them check it while he was standing right there. And it turns out that they did bring 10 staff members, but those 10 staff members stood on the side of the building, and everyone that was in seats, everybody that was cheering, everybody that was there were actually members of the CIA and had nothing to do with Trump.
Yeah. Fake news, Bob? You think it's fake news?
Boy, you know what? I was trying to think of another word for it, but you know what? Fake news is the right word for it, and they also invented it, didn't they?
Well, I mean, normally in another day and age, we'd call it propaganda.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Hey, listen, Joe, we got to go on a short break. I'm going to disconnect from you, and I'll call you right back. How's that sound?
About 2 minutes?
Yeah.
Sounds good, Bob.
Okay, we're going to be right back.
Isn't it time to shine the spotlight on your expertise? The Interview, starring you. Here's your chance to capture 5 minutes of fame with The Interview. This isn't just any interview. This is your opportunity to showcase your expertise and position yourself as a trusted expert in a one-on-one video interview hosted by Robert Cardoza, host of the nationally syndicated show Robert Cardoza Live, and powered by AHA Studios. What is it? A professionally recorded video for your use. Robert Cardoza interviews you on the set where he records his show. Professional interview showcases your expertise and value, shot in a state-of-the-art studio. And what's in it for you? Gain credibility as an expert, earn the trust of your target market, educate in a way that intrigues your audience, gain a powerful marketing tool that offers dozens of uses, website, video sharing sites, social media, email, DVDs, direct mail, lobby video, resumes, profile building, all that kind of stuff. Association with the nationally syndicated celebrity. That's right. And let's talk about AHA Studios. AHA is a strategic marketing firm that leverages the powerful in visual persuasion to help your business create powerful messages that connect with your target market. AHA ventures way beyond strategy, delivering the marketing collateral you need to start driving a new business through your doors. AHA has a full-service, in-house, state-of-the-art production studio to bring your messages to life using video. Discover how to make The Interview work for you. Call 949-831-2222. That's 949-831-2222. AHA Image Studios Incorporated.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza Live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. And I'm going to reconnect with our own Joe Hakos right now in the Conservative Syndicate. Let's see if we can't get him on the air with us. Well, if I hit the right button, that'll work. There we go. And he'll be answering here in just 1 second. It seems like my time with him just goes by so fast. If you're listening in, there we go. Here we go. Now he'll be picking up any second here. Here we go.
Hey, welcome back, folks. This is Joe Hakos here with Robert Cardoza from Robert Cardoza Live. Yeah. Live radio.
How exciting could it be to have you and I together from both the left and right side of the country?
It's just, Bob, you know what? I was watching, over the weekend, I was watching Apollo 13. Remember that movie?
Yeah. Is that the one? Yeah, was that with Tom Hanks?
Yeah, it was Tom Hanks. But what I was more interested in the technology involved, and and I just remember that from back in the day in the 70s, and it was like, wow, man, it's like, how awesome that was, and we're doing a lot of this stuff today. And you know what, Bob? Remember last Friday when an individual stood on a dais there and said stuff like, hey, maybe we can eradicate the world of disease.
Yeah.
Let me see
Yeah. Oh, the interesting thing is, and I don't know how old you are, Joe, but I'm old, and I remember living through all that stuff when Apollo 13 had its problems, and I remember when we landed Neil Armstrong on the moon and brought him back. And I remember a lot of the medical advances. I mean, the heart transplants and all those things. But the truth is, I have a medical segment that on my show on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And one of the things that this physician says is that, every time we eradicate something, we generally open the door to 2 or 3 other things that wind up being worse.
I'd take that chance. But you know what, Bob? If we could find a cure for cancer, I think I'll go for that.
Oh, yeah, I am too. But the interesting, I don't want to get into that kind of a subject because that's not what we talk about. The interesting thing is that a lot of the things that are going on today, would take care of themselves. But I did hear one person say something, well, we never had cancer before we started doing all of these heroic measures with regard to surgeries and all the different things like that. And I'm thinking to myself, what the heck are you talking about? 200 years ago, they had what they called consumption. That was cancer.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they didn't have X-rays or whatever. They couldn't see into it, but if they had, they could tell, this is what you have, and no, you have about maybe 6 weeks to live.
Yeah. Well, talking about consumption, Trump is going to go after NAFTA. I couldn't be more pleased in. When he canceled the TPP program today, and then he says, and at the end of the week he's going after NAFTA, you couldn't be more pleased because we always get the tail end of every one of these agreements. Why is it that the United States never comes out on the winning side of any of these negotiations?
Well, I think he explained that throughout his campaign. He said they're idiots who make these deals.
Yeah. It's just absolutely ridiculous. People want the protection of the United States. Matter of fact, that's another issue. That, when he was talking about NATO, and everybody was saying, oh, you can't get rid of NATO. NATO's so important to the world. Yeah, it's important to the world. What the agreement in NATO is, all the member nations, is each one of them needs to donate 2% of their GDP to NATO, so that pays for all the armed services and all the protection and all the costs and all the things going on. But far, Russia pays about half of what they're supposed to pay, and the United States pays more in order to subsidize what's going on, and we're the guys doing the protecting.
Yeah, I mean, we have to protect them against Russia. And, it's like Germany might be fitting their bill, but the Italians, the Poles, the Poles are in there now. Yeah. The Brits, the Danes, Sweden. I mean, Finland is giving $589 a month to people to stay unemployed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's just crazy stuff that's going on, and so I just don't understand how anybody can criticize Donald Trump for saying, "Hey, we want to help you, we want to protect you, we want to be the strongest, most powerful nation on earth." But you know what? We shouldn't have to pay for this out of our pocket. You've got plenty of money. If you want us to protect you, pay the cost.
Well, yeah, I get that too. And it's like, look, just stand up to your end of the bargain here. Yeah. But, I don't know if you remember we said, hey, we told the Ukraine, you give up your nukes and if Russia does anything, we're going to be there for you. And under the Obama administration, what did Russia do? What did Russia do? Blah, blah, blah. And what did the Obama administration do? Absolutely jack squat to them.
Yeah. Yeah. And the interesting thing is no matter what nation is in trouble, Joe, no matter where they go, these guys put on these UN soldiers go out there, the UN helmets and the UN uniforms and the UN weapons and things. Well, those are our soldiers in those uniforms that we paid for.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I've been there, done that, Bob. So, I'm a little touchy on that one. I just don't believe we should ever be under control of anybody else other than a U.S. commander, period.
Oh, no, I agree with, don't misunderstand me, Joe. I agree that we're the ones that need to be in control. Because you know what? There isn't anybody that's more powerful than us, nobody that's better trained than us, nobody that can, actually mobilize faster than us. All I'm saying is that people are so critical, and yet it's really us that we're footing the bill, and not only are we footing the bill monetarily, it's our soldiers and our citizens that are giving up their own blood and their own flesh, and they're being maimed and they're being killed and sacrificed. Well, I don't understand how they can criticize us.
Well, they can because. Well, they just do because they can. The thing is, Bob, what you're talking about is leadership, and I believe there's for lack of a better phrase, there's a new sheriff in town.
There's a new, yeah.
And his name is,
you caught me for a second. I didn't follow you, but now I've got you now.
Yeah, I mean, because although he spoke just so beautifully when he was reading, the whole conversation like we are right now, I don't believe the man could do that unless he's talking about how to destroy our nation. Yeah. But Barack Obama was not the greatest orator in the world, but he also didn't have a clue on how to be a leader.
Yeah, you know what? In just a weekend, and I wanted to say just today, but it's really a weekend. You're really seeing a leader. Now, I don't care if you don't like Donald Trump. I don't care if you didn't vote for Donald Trump. And here's the thing. You can't look at what's taking place right now and not recognize real leadership. This guy's got his hands right on everything. I was going to say on the button, and that was the wrong term to use. But he's got he's got his thumb on the problems. This guy has really got it going.
Well, I mean, he understood what was going on, so he had a bit of a plan going in, and he's trying to execute that plan. Yeah. And the plan is get in line too, because if you don't like it, there are going to be consequences. And hey, I don't know if you heard, but Tillerson passed the first hurdle to be confirmed as Secretary of State.
Oh no, I knew that I kept waiting and waiting. I knew that the vote was going to go on, so they're going to take it to the full Senate. Will the full Senate get it today, Joe?
I don't know if they'll get it today because that just happened. Oh, half hour ago.
Oh, you know what?
And we're talking about Congress.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, excuse me, Joe. Anyway, but it's interesting, and we talked about it on Friday. I honestly believe that every one of Trump's cabinet is going to be approved. The interesting thing is that on the very first day of Obama's administration, they approved 9 members of his cabinet. Here we are 3 days down the road, and we've only got, well, if we count Tillerson, who just got approved today, we've got 3, right?
Right. So yeah, it's Schumer, and it's also the Republicans not standing up and deploying their will against this. They could make this happen. They're like Chuck Schumer saying, no. Chuck Schumer is by definition the minority leader.
Yeah.
So that means you got the stick, you run with it.
Yeah. He's the minority leader in more ways than one.
Hey, Bob, we're coming to the end of our time, brother. Why don't we tell everybody how to get a hold of you and all that fun stuff, man,
Absolutely. First of all, you can listen to me and Joe every Monday and Friday, and usually when John's around and not being a world traveler, he's there too. But you can listen to my show every Monday through Friday from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time, and you get my app, please. That way you don't have to give up Joe's show to listen to me. You can listen to me 24/7 anytime you want. Of course, you can listen to me live and listen to Joe and John on their website as well. Hey guys, hey Joe, thank you so much. I look forward to talking to you on Friday.
No problem, Robert. We'll talk to you on Friday. Enjoy the week, brother. You stay safe, man.
Thank you. You too. Stay safe, stay dry, and keep smiling.
All right, brother.
If you want to increase your client base and sales, then consider this, the Relationship Building Network at RBN. Given the current economic conditions and challenges, we all need to work smarter, make smarter decisions, invest our hard-earned dollars where it'll yield the best return for our investment. Many business professionals claim that the most effective networking group in Orange County is RBN. No other networking group or organization can offer what RBN offers. Make every year your best year. Join RBN and start reaping the benefits today. Nearly 3,000 businesses have joined RBN and experienced those benefits. Why join RBN? It's one group. It's one membership. It's It's no renewals. It's all through Orange County. RBN is a freestyle networking group. No mandatory attendance, no restrictions, no rules, and no penalties. Call them at 949-830-5776 or go to their website at rbninfo.com. That's 949-830-5776. If you've ever dreamed of having your own business to make your life secure, you know Water's Edge Wineries might be just the ticket. In 2004, their founder, Ken Leinberger, created the first winery franchise in California. It was a new concept with all of the functionality of a traditional winery, but without the vineyards. They purchase high-quality grape must from one of the largest winemaking companies in the world. Then they craft each wine carefully and bottle it right at their location. The winery was built to satisfy consumer demand for wine by the bottle and by the glass, but still kept the element of allowing customers to bottle their own custom vintage. Now, they're opening urban wineries across the United States under the brand Water's Edge Wineries. If you've ever dreamed of owning your own winery, it may be in reach right now through Water's Edge Wineries. Just give them a call at 909-468-9463, extension 700. That's Water's Edge Wineries, 909-468-9463. Have you ever found yourself caught between a rock and a hard place? The law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett might be just the answer for you. The attorneys of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett have been serving the Inland Empire since 1989. They're dedicated to the aggressive litigation of civil, criminal, and real estate matters. Over the years, they have recovered tens of millions of dollars for their clients. The firm's practice specializes in litigation of personal injury, accident, slip and fall, real estate, and criminal law cases. The firm provides clients with the care, accuracy, and dedication of experienced attorneys. Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett is located at 10300 4th Street, Suite 150 in Rancho Cucamonga, California. They've been providing the Inland Empire residents with outstanding legal services for over 25 years. They look forward to providing you with aggressive legal representation. Call them at 909-945-5000, where you can talk to a person, not a machine. That's 909-945-5000, the law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you.
When they ask who's a fool in the corner crying, I say, a little old wine drink of me.
And now, from the middle of a vineyard somewhere, a man who's never met a grape he couldn't cuddle up to, our resident advanced sommelier, Jon Hansen.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. We're at 4:01 p.m. Pacific time. It's currently 48 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. And that's down from 51 degrees, and it's on its way to get this 37 degrees. If you're listening to us on our globally syndicated network and you're in Paris, France, well, it's 28 degrees and it's overcast. And if you're in Rome, Italy, it's 48 degrees and it's also overcast. And if you happen to be in Anaheim, California, sitting next door to my good buddy Jon Hansen, you're going to see him sweating and huffing and puffing and doing all those things because he totally forgot that he was on the air today at 4 o'clock. Hey, Jon, is that you?
Yes, it's me, Bob. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Jon?
Okay, buddy. Believe it or not,
I thought you lost your watch or something.
Oh, no. I'm up here in Victorville where we just had a nice little hailstorm.
Oh, my goodness.
How about this weather, huh?
Hey, you know what? Unbelievable. Obviously, or hopefully obviously, this is the end of our drought, but I'm wondering if this is not the beginning of a whole era of more severe weather, where we're going to have severe winters and severe summers here in the good old Southern California. So if you're in Victorville and you've got a lot of rentals out there, was there a lot of damage done out there because of the rains?
Well, it was funny because I went out and I went to my realtor to pick up a garage door opener. And this was Main Street, which is one of the main roads out here in Victorville. And there was a river going across it. And the cops, if you had a low-profile vehicle, they wouldn't let you even cross Main Street. Thank God I had this big, Dodge Ram truck that they allowed me to get across.
Wow.
As I said, I've been out here all day. And it's been raining. There's been hail. it's just been crazy. It's just been crazy. But I believe today's the last day of it. So hopefully tomorrow, and then the rest of the week's going to be sunny. So we'll see what happens.
Well, you know what? Hopefully, if you've got work to do out there, it will be sunny. They're saying that we can expect another storm to come in here around Tuesday, a week from tomorrow.
Well, I tell you, it's like wasn't last year supposed to be the El Niño?
The El Nino.
All the rain last year?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we're supposed to have a lot of rain. The El Nino effect last year, but we didn't have near this much rain, John.
Oh no, we're under the average actually.
Yeah.
For a year was supposed to be very wet, and I think honestly, Bob, the month of December and the beginning of January, we've had more rain in this month and a half than we've had in the last 3-4 years.
Well, yeah, but what's concerned? I mean, I'm lucky. We've got great drainage here. There's no problems that I'm seeing around here. Duarte's having some problems, and it sounds like you're having some problems up in the high desert where your rentals are at. And I don't think in Anaheim where you live, there's no problems out there either with the flooding, is there?
No, we're fine at our house. There are some flood zones, and actually, fortunately, we don't live in those flood zones. So, yeah. I haven't seen how bad, but I know Long Beach really got hit pretty bad. A lot of places got flooded up there. So, it's just been crazy. And I tell you, going down just the major drain there, where a lot of the homeless live. I mean, they actually lost everything they had. Whatever they had got washed away. They were lucky just to get out there and save their lives. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, and and it's not just here, John. I mean, there have been tornadoes, there have been ice storms, there have been all kinds of things going on all across the country. I don't know if you saw. I forget where there was this mobile home park, and I want to say it was in Texas, but I'm not sure that that's where it was at. And I've never seen such devastation in my life. It looked like a trash dump. It looked like it was one of these commercial trash dumps. It was just a pile of debris. There, you couldn't tell that anything was a building.
Well, and that's funny because you would think by now California would have some sorts of reservoir to obtain this water, to hold it instead of just getting washed right out to the ocean. You know what?
Does that incense you as it does me? Here we went through all this drought, and they raised the rates on water, and they tell you to cut back on your water. They penalize you if you use too much of it. And yet the aquifers in California now are dry. Hopefully I doubt that they're filled up yet. We just have some reservoirs that may be full, but I don't think the aquifer has been filled up. We got plenty of snow up in the mountains. But the dumb part about this, we spend billions and billions of dollars. Why are we not building reserve areas for water? Since we live in a desert, why are they not building reserves?
Hopefully, we can talk about the protests and so forth with Trump, but California really needs a workover. So in the United States, there's a turn. It's funny. It's great to see stock hitting the 20 figure coming up. I mean, hopefully we'll go over to 20. I mean, that's incredible. Just because of the new president. I mean, California really has to change. It was just ridiculous. And all these years and all this taxes and all this money, where is it going? And they have known this for so long about the droughts. Why hasn't this been taken care of? Yeah. I mean, this has to be addressed sooner or later.
I mean, if you think about this, John, I can't blame it all on Governor Moonbeam out here, but he had a lot to do with it, and a lot of the governors have. I can remember when I was a young boy, long before you were even a gleam in your father's or mother's eye. We had the best roads, the best infrastructure, we had the best education, we had the best of everything here in California, and it has all deteriorated. Water was never a problem when I was a young guy. We never had these kind of problems. And now all of a sudden, we don't have anybody with enough intellect in Sacramento, California to to put an end to this stuff, to plan for the future? I mean, we plan for freeways 10 years in advance, but have you ever been on a freeway where it wasn't the biggest parking lot you ever been in?
It is just crazy, you know, and as I said, I have so many friends that have left California because you cannot do business in California because you can't make a profit. You just get taxed to death.
Yeah, California is not friendly to business. As a matter of fact, and I know I'm interrupting you, and I'm sorry, but you hit my hot button here. You know, California, even though it is one of the biggest technology states, we are the biggest agricultural state. Agriculture means everything to California. And because of this drought, farmers have gone out of business. Farms and dairies have moved out of the state. A lot of other businesses have moved out of the state because they can't afford to do business in California because of Governor Moonbeam and his dumb business decisions. You know, this is crazy. And it's not like California is a cheap place to live.
Oh, no. As I said, it wasn't for Silicon Valley. And we still, of course, have a lot of agriculture out there. And, of course, Disney, the revenues pile into the main thing of Disney here, too. You know, California was what, 6th in the world?
5th. It used to be the 5th largest economy in the world.
GNP.
In the world.
In the world. And now I'm sure we're still number 1 state, but we're no longer that in the world. And I mean, it's crazy how much business we have lost. And that's why, you know, as I said, we can just talk politics here and go on and on. It's like, how did Obama raise all these taxes, double the national debt? Where did all this money go to? California did the same exact thing. Yeah. Taxes just are out of hand. Where is this money going to? And we see nothing. And we're still in debt. Nothing is improved. We have no reservoirs to capture these waters. You know, when it does rain, so when we do have the drought, we're not, you know.
We've got potholes in our roads as big as cars. We've got an antiquated water piping system under the ground that is coming apart. We see, you know, we have a drought, yet we see these water pipes bursting because they're so old, right? They don't replace them. We have an electrical grid system that's archaic, you know, that doesn't make any sense at all. I just don't get it. And you can go there are so many countries, John, you know, you travel, their train systems are magnificent. Their highways are phenomenal. Their computer systems, the broadband is faster than ours. You gotta be kidding. We invented all this stuff. How did this happen to us?
Well, Bob, they continue to raise tax. Where is this money going if it's not going to fix these things?
Yeah.
Nothing gets done, but taxes keep going up. Where is the money going? It just doesn't make sense.
If we didn't spend $10 trillion on 2 wars, that would have taken care of all of our infrastructure, would have taken care of all the rail lines and things that are going on, it would have taken care of America. And, you know, that's why, you know, some of these legislators I think they have a false modesty or a false impression. You know, make America great again. Absolutely. That's what's got to happen. It was great when I was a kid, and it needs to be great again. And it certainly can be, but not if we're spending $10 trillion on a war for people that want us dead.
Exactly. Didn't somebody 8 years ago promise that the war was going to end? That we would pull out of certain areas and stuff?
Yeah.
8 years ago, and what has happened these 8 years?
Yeah, we're
still there, Bob.
Yeah. You know what? Let's talk about food and wine, John. I'm starting. I got smoke. I got smoke coming out of my ears and my eyes and my nose. You know, you think my blood pressure's going up.
I know. I apologize. I'm actually the same. I'm the same boat you are, my friend. But, as I said, we can, and you know, then you got these protesters out there. 200 people get arrested in Washington.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
Why spend? I mean, was it $1,000 to get out of jail? I mean, why?
All right. So okay. So now you're pushing me back into politics. So let's talk. about John Lewis for a minute. Here's a guy that he's got all this reputation. He damn near got killed trying to defend civil rights, right? And what's he do when Trump gets elected? The first thing he does is try to take away Trump's civil rights. He accuses him of something he didn't do. He says that here he is a congressman, or he's a senator, and he's sitting there saying, I am not going to attend the inauguration. Are you kidding me? The inauguration is mandated under the Constitution of the United States. You got elected not to represent what you think. You got elected to represent the people who put you in there. And I'm pretty damn sure at least some of the people that elected you also elected Trump. Not everybody is a Democrat. And you know what?
Exactly.
And he has the nerve to take away Donald Trump's civil rights. And then these idiots, these protesters. Now, I believe in the right to assembly. I believe in the right to protest. But I do not believe in the right to harm other people's property. These idiots went in there and broke windows and set a limo on fire and harmed police officers. What the hell kind of assembly is that? You know, what kind of assembly is that? You know, I'll give you this. That was only 200 out of, what, 1 million? So, I mean, it's nothing, but still.
Yeah, but still, why, you know, I agree 100%. You have the right to voice your opinion and do it in a peaceful way. But we can go on and I mean, take California, Watts riots back in the 60s, Rodney King incident and that. And they burned their own stores. It's like,
the Watts riots you're talking about.
Oh, my God. Why? Why would you do this stuff? It makes no sense doing this stuff.
And then they wonder how come these businesses don't come back and fix those stores and open them up again. Are you kidding me?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How are they going to pay insurance on just on those stores?
Yeah.
Area.
Yeah.
You can't afford the insurance. How can you do business if you can't afford the insurance just to do business in that area? I don't know. As I say, hey, why don't we talk about wine? Get on a better subject.
Hey, John, let's talk about food and wine, because I want to tell you, it's got. I am so my blood pressure is almost going through the roof here.
I need a glass of wine right now, my friend.
Well, I'm thinking about maybe just a brandy. I'm going to let you talk, and I'm going to pour me a brandy. I might wind up with wine, but I need something a little stiffer in my veins.
Myself. I'm eyeing a bottle of scotch. As soon as I get home, I'm going to open that bad boy up and enjoy it. But,
well, wait till you get home. You are going home tonight, right?
Oh yeah. I had to come out early this morning. It was funny because I wanted to get out here real early, but Raina's car broke down, so I got about halfway up the hill and I had to head back. And of course, I hit traffic heading back. By the time I got to the car, we had to call AAA anyway, which should have been an easy, resolution. But to make a long story short, we finally got the car to the dealer, and they're taking care of it. But then I didn't get up there until late, so. I still got a lot of things to do, and I do apologize for calling in a little late. I was in the midst of doing something, but the one thing I definitely want to mention, Bob. Hey,
you know what, John? You've been a friend of mine for how long? How long? We've known each other, 25 years?
Oh,
more?
At least.
30? 30, maybe more than that.
Yeah.
Here's the nice thing about friends. When you're friends, you never have to say you're sorry.
That's true. That's true. Things do come up. But, as I said, the one thing I want to get out, and because I know you're a big, huge fan of Chateauneuf de Pape.
Oh, yeah. Oh, is it available?
Oh, well, what the thing on Wine Advocate actually gave, the Chateauneuf de Pape probably is Beaucastel. Now, Beaucastel is probably the most recognized, one of the most, definitely in the top 2 recognized Chateauneuf de Pape houses in Southern Rhone. Mostly Grenache based, but could be up to 13 grapes. But the Beaucastel on Wine Access usually is $100. They have a big sale this week for $75 So you get 25% off a bottle of probably one of the most renowned Chateauneuf Pops
You only
in the world.
You only have to buy one bottle. You get that discount.
You can as long as it lasts, you can buy. Shipping's included on 3 bottles or more, so you only have to pay shipping if you buy at least 3. So buy at least 3.
Wow.
Okay. As I say, you're getting 25% off. Parker gave it 94. Wine Advocate gave it 93, of course, but Chateauneuf at the top, of course, Clos de Tables. Not Clos de Tables Creek. Clos de Tables is one of the wines at Tables Creek. What they did, it's a cult winery up in Tassarolas, and they took the cuttings from Villa Castell, of course, and planting them up in Tassarolas. So a little different. It's all Rhone varietals, of course, from the estate of Villa Castell. So you have whites and reds up there. It has that cult following, so it's one of these more popular wines up there. But you actually have the wine, Chateau Villa Castell, Chateauneuf de Pop, for $75 at Wine Access. So go online, log in, and as I said, if you buy 3 bottles, it's free shipping.
That sounds fantastic. John, let's talk some more about, we got to take a break. Let's talk some more about it when we come back. We'll be right back with our own John Hansen, the little old wine drinker, right after these brief messages. Do not go away.
Isn't it time to shine the spotlight on your expertise? The Interview, starring you. Here's your chance to capture 5 minutes of fame with The Interview. This isn't just any interview. This is your opportunity to showcase your expertise and position yourself as a trusted expert in a one-on-one video interview hosted by Robert Cardoza, host of the nationally syndicated show Robert Cardoza Live and powered by AHA Studios. What is it? A professionally recorded video for your use. Robert Cardoza interviews you on the set where he records his show. Professional interview showcases your expertise and value, shot in a state-of-the-art studio. And what's in it for you? Gain credibility as an expert, earn the trust of your target market, educate in a way that intrigues your audience, gain a powerful marketing tool that offers dozens of uses, website, video sharing sites, social media, email, DVDs, direct mail, lobby video, resumes, profile building, all that kind of stuff. Association with the nationally syndicated celebrity. That's right. And let's talk about AHA Studios. AHA is a strategic marketing firm that leverages the powerful in visual persuasion to help your business create powerful messages that connect with your target market. AHA ventures way beyond strategy, delivering the marketing collateral you need to start driving a new business through your doors. AHA has a full-service, in-house, state-of-the-art production studio to bring your messages to life using video. Discover how to make The Interview work for you. Call 949-831-2222. That's 949-831-2222. AHA Image Studios Incorporated. Dr. Stephen Tidwell, Gentle Family Dentistry in a caring, personalized environment. Here at Dr. Tidwell's office, we are dedicated to helping you keep your teeth healthy. We are a state-of-the-art dental practice that still believes in traditional values, such as excellent customer service and individual attention. We have a special welcoming offer for you for just $39. A complete exam, personal consultation, professional cleaning, and all necessary x-rays. That's a $266 value for $39. Dr. Tidwell has 2 convenient locations and experienced staff to provide you with professional care and personal attention that you deserve. Call today. Don't delay. A great smile another day. Call 909-944-7308. That's 909-944-7308 for Rancho Cucamonga or San Bernardino. Joel Saltzman is Dr. Wireless. He has turned his considerable expertise into consumer credit risk and wireless security into a highly specialized independent web-based consulting enterprise targeting consumer credit risk analysis and wireless transactional security and monitoring. He works as a wireless analyst, veteran independent agent, and consumer liaison for most wireless telecom carriers and equipment manufacturers. For more than 20 years, corporate and private clients and media audiences have counted on his unvarnished advice while weighing the technology, performance, and cost differences between Sprint, Nextel, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Joel specializes in setting up mobile wireless hotspots to be used for disaster preparedness, business continuity, and mobile wireless merchant processing solutions. Call Dr. Wireless at 310-400 4900, or go to his webpage at drwireless.com. Again, call 310-400-4900 or his webpage at drwireless.com. You'll be glad you did. And now, back to our show.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. We're at 4:23 p.m. Pacific time. Currently 48 degrees here in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. That's on its way down to 36 degrees. It's probably colder than that where my good buddy Jon Hansen's at. Hey, John, do you know what the temperature is where you're at? It's got to be colder than that, right?
Well, I know it's going to get real cold because we just had a hailstorm. And
yeah.
It is cold. I can tell you that.
Yeah, so
what it actually is, I do not know.
It's already got to be in the low 30s. So, anyway. Hey, you know what? I was at dinner with my neighbor yesterday. We were invited over to their house, and they had their neighbor, another neighbor invited over. And we were having, he makes albondiga soup. And it was actually quite good. Anyway, we were talking about restaurants and things, and this other neighbor is a young guy. And he was talking about he really loves wine. He's interested in wine. And he's going to get a wine education and that kind of stuff. And so naturally, the neighbor, the older couple that you've met them that live right next to me, mentioned you and the fact that you and I were friends and that you were working over at the Napa Rose and we started talking about these things and talking about different restaurants. They had never. I'm going to bite my tongue. They'd never heard of the Napa Rose, and I said, "Are you kidding?" Oh, my goodness. And they're like in their 30s. And I said, you ever been to Disneyland? Yeah. I said, well, boy, if you're at Disneyland, you want to have a great dinner, you need to go to the Napa Rose. It's right there in the Grand California Hotel. Then they were talking about, other places. And I happened to say, well, another really nice place would need to make a reservation a bit in advance would be the Hobbit. He says, oh, I've been to the Hobbit. They serve great hamburgers. And I said, no, not the Hobbit. the Hobbit. And so I says, I don't think they serve a hamburger, but I can tell you it's about $145 a head, not including your drinks. So anyway,
Bob, if they did serve a hamburger, it would probably be with foie gras and something else.
Oh yeah,
It would probably be $99.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's funny you were mentioning restaurants, and I wanted to bring this up because this Friday, the 27th, they have a food and wine experience, and here's where you can go out and try. There's a lot of celebrity chefs there. We can try different food without actually going to the restaurant, where you can actually just go up and taste different things and. It's a lot of fun. They have wine pairing. There's live music.
Where is this at, John?
Well, it's the first annual food and wine experience. It's called. And the reason I bring it up because there's a lot of celebrity chefs, and the chef from Club 33 will be there as well. And it's at the Ocean Institute. That's in Dana Point, and the address is 24200 Dana Point Harbor Drive in Dana Point, California. It's a great experience. There's a lot of celebrity chefs. There's live entertainment, and you have a lot of wineries there too. So what's on the venue? There's Nickel Nickel, of course. Farniente owns Nickel Nickel. Right across the street from Farniente, basically. Farniente likes to do separate entities, the dessert wine Dolce, separate entity, Nickel Nickel. For the last 4 years, they have a Russian River Pinot Noir called En Route, all separate entities, but incredible wines. You have Four Lantern Winery, you have Cobrands there as well, if you like bubbly. Argyle from the Willamette Valley, they have bubbly and incredible Chardonnays and Pinot Noirs there as well. So some nice wineries are going to be there. You have Ryan Adams, got 37 Common Kitchen. He's the owner and chef of that. You have the actual chef from the winery. We went to the winery restaurant and bar, Yvonne, who was from Switzerland. And of course, Justin Munson, 21 Royale in Club 33. The executive theater chefs overseas, Club 33 and 21 Royale. He is actually the executive chef. He will be there as well with a number of other great chefs. Rob Wilson from Montage, and another restaurant that we quite a bit on the radio, Montage, one of the top restaurants in Orange County.
So, John, what do they do? Do they set up booths inside the common area, or I mean, how do they handle that?
Yeah, it's $100 a person, and it's basically all you can eat, all you can drink. And as I said, there's auctions, there's live entertainment, and it said it's Adele Hamilton, but how they promote it is just as Adele, and also you see Hamilton at the bottom of it. But she's supposed to be quite a performer as well. But it's the 25th. It's from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So you get to taste a lot of different food, drink, I'm going to say more, taste a lot of great wine, and have a lot of fun. And you get to actually, personally meet all these executive chefs, and wow. Where you get a chance to say, I really like this one, let's go to this restaurant and try it out, without just, blindly going to a restaurant and saying, yeah, let's see how this is. So, it's a great opportunity. Go out, have fun, make a nice evening of it. Hopefully the weather will be good. Looking at the long range forecast, the weather does look good. So, a nice little experience. If you're in the Southern California area, down Dana Point, you stop by and do that.
Is that an annual event, John?
Yeah, it's actually the first annual, but it will be an annual event as well. So this is the first time they're doing it, but they will do it next year. So what I see. So
the chef from the Montage and the chef from Ritz and the chef from all of them are. Yeah,
absolutely.
Wow. How great is that?
A lot of fun thing. Oh, that's going to be a great time. And if you can't make it on 27th Friday, the 28th, there's the Oceanside Craft Beer and Food Festival as well, which is a lot of fun. I'm going to take you to the Garden one, which is in November.
Right.
So mark your calendar for that, because that's incredible.
I already got that one marked. That's the one you told me about. Is it San Diego?
Yeah. Torrey Pines. Torrey Pines in November. This one is at Deer Sales, Pier Amphitheater. And that's one Pier Plaza Amphitheater. The Stand N. I don't know why that's there, but it's in Oceanside, California. And, they have a live band again. It's called Night Rider, and they play 80s and 90s music.
Oh, so cool.
You get into 80s and 90s music, live entertainment. It's food and beer. I'm assuming it's kind of like the same venue at the Torrey Pines. It's from 3 to 6, and it's unlimited beer tasting. You get a souvenir tasting mug as well, and you get to taste a lot of different food. They didn't list the chefs or who was actually going, but it looks like a lot of fun. As I said, last November was the first time we went to the one in Torrey Pines, the Garden Festival, and we had such a great time. And I said, it's going to be a must. We got to go next year.
So are we going to pick up a train and take it over to Torrey Pines? Because it just dumps right there, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly. It drops you right off there, and you just take a little bus down the street, and you're there in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You actually get off right by the racetrack there in Del Mar, and then you just take this little bus, like a 10-minute bus ride, 15-minute bus ride, and it drops you off right in front of Torrey Pines.
Oh, that sounds great.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah.
But another thing I wanted to, how much time do we have, Bob?
Let's see here, 6 minutes.
Okay, good. Hopefully I can get through this. As I said, I like to, what I get from emails and people calling and so forth. And one thing that we haven't done in a long time is like certain areas. How do I pick wine in certain areas? So I decided to do Italy for a good friend Franco, that we have to get to real soon. I promised him that we would do lunch really soon at the White House.
Absolutely.
But of course, he's from Italy, and Italy, of course, is the number 2 producer for wine. Of course, France is number 1. There's actually 20 wine regions there, so we'll go through a couple of the top ones. Of course, Piemonte is the main one, Nebbiolo. is the main grape, but you also got Mezcal de Asti, one of my wife's favorite wines because it's sweet. Brachetto de Acqui, the same thing as Mezcal de Asti, but Brachetto's grape instead of Moscato. You have Barolos and Barbarero. Barbaresco is like the queen. Barolo's the king of the Nebbiolo grape there. There's Barbera as well. A lot of great grapes. On the white side, you have Gave de Gave. You have I want to mention about the Mezcal de Asti and Brachetto de Asti. It's a Charmat process where they actually ferment in a big tank, and that's why it's just kind of sparkly. It's not like champagne, but kind of sparkly. But a good friend, Franco, he's from the Lombardy area. And of course, his favorite bubbly wine is Francicata. Okay, and the grapes in Francicata are Chardonnay, Pinot Blanc, and Pinot Noir. I tell you, you like a sparkling wine, and we fell in love with Prosecco, of course. Here in Italy. But I tell you, I have to say, I like Francicata much better, and Franco's right. Francicata is, I think, the best sparkling wine out of Italy. But you have the Veneto, where Valpolicella comes from. You have Prosecco, of course, Soave. Remember Soave Bola way back then, but Soave has come a long ways from Soave Bola. Garneglia is a great, there's a little Chardonnay and Trebbiano in there as well. Tuscany, of course, is probably the second biggest wine region in Italy. You got the Super Tuscans like the Sassicaia and so forth. But you also got like Chianti. Main grape in Chianti, of course, is Sangiovese, and of course, Real de Montepulciano. It's a Sangiovese clone that is a grape in Brunello. Little smaller regions, you got Umbria, Orvieto comes from, which is mostly Trebbiano. There's Segretino de Montefalco. I just like to say that, but it's just a small It's just a small little thing. It's hard to find if you do it. It's not going to blow you away. But
it's going to be hard. It's going to be harder for you to say it after you drink that bottle of scotch too.
And I tell you, another reason Franco likes to talk about is Campagna. And in Campagna, there's actually 3 DLCGs. You got Tarazi, Greco Tartuffa, and Fiano di Avellino. And I was telling a story when we were in Rome where I asked for Fiano di Avellino. We sat on this little restaurant, and they gave us, there was so much food. We were food to feed 20 people, and I think our bill was €6. And we had 2 crafts of Fiano di Avellino, which I don't think was Fiano di Avellino. The guy just said, "See, here you go." So it was delicious, whatever it was.
It came in a decanter, right?
It is a little craft, and it's known for its volcanic soil, Campagna, but great wines. Actually, those 3 wines are great. Apulia, Primitivo, it's the end of the book there. Not good quality wines come out of there that much, but you also have like Sicily. Marsala. You see a lot of Marsala wines like Marsala sauce cooking, sweet wine used for a lot of cooking and so forth. So,
well, you know what's interesting? They sell this Marsala cooking wine in the store. I want to tell you, don't ever cook with a cooking wine. You want to get the real Marsala wine. That's what you want to cook with. If you want great flavors, you got to get away from that, what they designate as cooking wine.
Oh, I tell you get a nice bottle of Marsala, reduce it down with a little demi-glaze or chicken stock, and it's like a chicken Marsala with mushrooms.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're going to be in heaven. Yeah. You're going to be in heaven because when it reduces down, it gives us this beautiful flavor to the sauce. It's just amazing. Just amazing. But of course, Bob, I wanted to end it with, the wine pick of the week, which I did that, New Year's resolution that we're going to do it. So we're going to go with that 2014 Full Castell Chateauneuf de Pape, 25% off in Wine Excess right now. You can get, instead of $100 a bottle, it's only $75 a bottle. You buy 3, shipping is free. So that's the wine pick of the week, Bob.
That's a big discount. Why are they doing that?
It's a promotion. Lost leader, get people to go on the site as well. You know, they advertise that. They go in and see all this other stuff and say, hey, that looks interesting to buy more wine. As I said, the more wine the more wine you buy, the cheaper it gets. And so you got to buy at least 3 bottles, so you're paying for shipping too. So it's, you're not really saving anything if you're going to, pay $20 for shipping. So, you get the 3 bottles, so you're saving $75 overall, and you have to pay in shipping. Or there's other items you can go on the website and so forth. So,
all right. I can't believe you actually got it in, John.
I rushed through Italy. I apologize for the people that want to learn a lot about Italy. It was a 4-minute crash course in Italy.
Well, that's because we spent 18 minutes talking about politics.
Well, at least we got it off our chest, my friend. We got it off our chest, and now we're feeling better. Now we can have a nice glass of wine and relax.
Absolutely. Hey, you know what? I want to take just a few minutes, and I'm actually out of time. But John, I had somebody give me a fairly decent white wine, but we weren't ready to drink it, and I put it in the refrigerator. How long should white wine? I mean, because when I opened it up, it wasn't good. I had to pour it down the drain. Although it may have been that way when I actually got it, I don't know. How long should white wine last in a refrigerator?
It all depends on the varietal too. It's funny. Like
it was a Chardonnay. It was a Chardonnay.
Chardonnay. Oh yes. Cooler temperature. It'll last a long time. Unless did you open it and then put it in the refrigerator?
No. As a matter of fact, and I want to say I've only had it in there for probably a couple of weeks.
No, absolutely. No. Chardonnay should last up to 10 years. The good Chardonnay should last up to 10 years.
So that was probably bad when he gave it to me.
Oh, yeah. Anything can happen. You can have leakage. It could be corked. It could be tainted.
Yeah.
There's so many things there's so many flaws that could happen to wine. And that could be another topic for our next show, all the flaws in wine. You got the avatell acid. You got, it could be corked. It could be, there's so many different, it can be matterized, based.
Yeah.
There's so many things that can happen just in shipping. The cork, you can have a leak in the cork where it becomes oxidized. There's so many things. Or it got
warm before they gave it to me. It might have gotten warm and they put it in their refrigerator and it got cold and then they gave it to me and then, Anyway, my friend, it's great talking to you. I want you to take it easy coming back off that mountain, cause the roads are going to be slick. So stay safe and, take your time getting over there. And, we'll talk to you, before next Monday. How's that sound?
Sounds good, buddy.
All right, buddy. You have a great evening. The rest of you folks, stick around because when we come back, we're going to be talking about the birthdays for the day, the secret daily teaching for your life, and interesting but useless facts. We'll be right back after these brief messages. Do not go away.
If you want to increase your client base and sales, then consider this, the Relationship Building Network at RBN. Given the current economic conditions and challenges, we all need to work smarter, make smarter decisions, invest our hard-earned dollars where it'll yield the best return for our investment. Many business professionals claim that the most effective networking group in Orange County is RBN. No other networking group or organization can offer what RBN offers. Make every year your best year. Join RBN and start reaping the benefits today. Nearly 3,000 businesses have joined RBN and experienced those benefits. Why join RBN? It's one group. It's one membership. It's no renewals. It's all through Orange County. RBN is a freestyle networking group. No mandatory attendance, no restrictions, no rules, and no penalties. Call them at 949-830-5776 or go to their website at rbninfo.com. That's 949-830-5776. If you've ever dreamed of having your own business to make your life secure, Water's Edge Wineries might be just the ticket. In 2004, their founder, Ken Leinberger, created the first winery franchise in California. It was a new concept with all of the functionality of a traditional winery, but without the vineyards. They purchased high-quality grape must from one of the largest winemaking companies in the world. Then they craft each wine carefully and bottle it right at their location. The winery was built to satisfy consumer demand for wine by the bottle and by the glass, but still kept the element of allowing customers to bottle their own custom vintage. Now, they're opening urban wineries across the United States under the brand Water's Edge Wineries. If you've ever dreamed of owning your own winery, It may be in reach right now through Water's Edge Wineries. Just give them a call at 909-468-9463, extension 700. That's Water's Edge Wineries, 909-468-9463. Have you ever found yourself caught between a rock and a hard place? The law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett might be just the answer for you. The attorneys of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett have been serving the Inland Empire since 1989. They're dedicated to the aggressive litigation of civil, criminal, and real estate matters. Over the years, they have recovered tens of millions of dollars for their clients. The firm's practice specializes in litigation of personal injury, accident, slip and fall, real estate, and criminal law cases. The firm provides clients with the care, accuracy, and dedication of experienced attorneys. Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett is located at 10300 4th Street, Suite 150 in Rancho Cucamonga, California. They've been providing the Inland Empire residents with outstanding legal services for over 25 years. They look forward to providing you with aggressive legal representation. Call them at 909-945-5000, where you can talk to a person, not a machine. That's 909-945-5000, the law offices of Blomberg, Benson, and Garrett. And now let's get back to our show where we talk about politics, money, and you.
And I am Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. We're at 4:43 p.m. Pacific time. Can't believe it. It's actually 48 degrees now in the heart of the Inland Empire in sunny Southern California. But the low has gone down. They're saying it's going to go down to 27 degrees. That's below freezing. Holy mackerel. Well, if you're listening to us on our globally syndicated network and you're in London, England, it's 36 degrees and partly cloudy. And if you're in Vienna, Austria, listening to our show, it is 19 degrees and it's overcast. But right now, I want to talk to you about a secret daily teaching for your life. You know what? This is all about having a positive mental attitude. It's all about you controlling your life, nobody else. And it's the truth. You control whether you're happy or sad, you're rich or poor, if you're a success or a failure. You even control the feelings of the people around you. You do it every morning when you look in the mirror and you say, I'm going to have a fantastic, profitable, productive day today. Well, the teaching for today is you can let your imagination go wild with a vision board and place pictures of all the things that you want and pictures of how you want your life to be. Make sure that you put the vision board in a place where you see it and look at it every day. Feel the feelings of having those things now as you receive and feel gratitude for receiving. You can remove pictures and add new ones. This is a wonderful way to introduce children to the law of attraction. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. You know who said that? Albert Einstein. I think he knew something about it. Yeah. Well, you know what? Let's talk to you about the birthdays for today. Obviously, you know what day it is. It's Monday. It's January the 23rd. It is absolutely somebody's birthday. Oh, yeah. And you know what? We've got some terrific birthdays for you today, so we might as well just get right to them and stop wasting any time. You know, here's a fellow born in 1737, passed away in 1793. He was a merchant, statesman, and a prominent patriot of the American Revolution. Happy birthday, John Hancock. Yeah. He also one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. Here's a guy that was born in 1953, not all that old. The mayor of Los Angeles, California, the third Mexican-American to have ever held the office. Happy birthday, Antonio Villagrosa. Yeah. And it's also the birthday of Mariska Hargitay. You know who that is? Yeah, she's on Law & Order SUV. Yeah, that's who that is. Nice lady. Matter of fact, you'd be interested to know she's probably the highest paid female actress in television. Wow, get that one. Well, you know what? I know you're just wondering what happened today in history. I'm about to tell you. Sit down in your comfortable chair and get this. Today, January 23rd, 1656, Blaise Pascal publishes the very first of his letters, Provinciales. Yeah. And on this date, In 1849, Elizabeth Blackwell is awarded her M.D. Institute in New York, becoming the very first United States female doctor. Isn't that something? And then in 1897, Elva Heaster is found dead in West Virginia. The resulting murder trial of her husband is the only case in United States history where the alleged testimony of a ghost helped secure the conviction. Now that's kind of interesting. Yeah. Well, our quote for today comes from somebody that is just renowned, Jimi Hendrix. And Jimmy says, when the power of love overcomes the love of power, the world will know peace. Well, Jimmy, from your lips to President Trump's ears. Yeah. Well, you know what? It's time for those interesting but useless facts. We haven't got much time, so we're going to get right to it. Did you know that they can jump high and swim well? I'm not sure who they are, but I can tell you this. If you yelled for 8 years, 7 months, and 6 days, you would have produced enough sound energy to heat 1 cup of coffee. Yeah. You got that? If you yelled for 8 years, 7 months, and 6 days, you'd produce enough energy, enough sound energy, to heat 1 cup of coffee, which I'm going to have right after this broadcast. Did you know that penguins are flightless birds? Yeah. And I'll give you one here. When you have a cold, put Vicks Vapor Rub, you know what that is, and put it on the bottom of your feet along with a pair of socks before you go to bed. It'll pull out all the sinuses and headaches from your head so you can release the viruses when you go to the bathroom in the morning. Wow. Can you imagine that? From your head to your feet. Okay. I'm going to try that someday. But I don't know. Have you ever smelled Vicks Vapor Rub? God, that stuff's horrible. Yeah, that's bad stuff. Well, let me leave you with this one. The automobile, cars could be made which move at inestimable speed without animals to draw them, as if they were the chariots in which men fought of old. The automobile. I can't leave you with that one. Let me give you this one. The kakapo is a nocturnal burrowing parrot of New Zealand that has a green body with brown and yellow markings. Its name is from Maori and means night parrot. Well, I am going to leave you with that one. You know what? You got to question the mental capacity of some of the people to get these things. Anyway, don't go away, folks, because when we come back, we're going to be doing our tribute to the late, great Paul Harvey with the rest of the story. And today's story, The Forgotten King. I'll give it to you right after these messages.
Isn't it time to shine the spotlight on your expertise? The Interview, starring you. Here's your chance to capture 5 minutes of fame with The Interview. This isn't just any interview. This is your opportunity to showcase your expertise and position yourself as a trusted expert in a one-on-one video interview hosted by Robert Cardoza, host of the nationally syndicated show Robert Cardoza Live and powered by AHA Studios. What is it? A professionally recorded video for your use. Robert Cardoza interviews you on the set where he records his show. Professional interview showcases your expertise and value, shot in a state-of-the-art studio. And what's in it for you? Gain credibility as an expert, earn the trust of your target market, educate in a way that intrigues your audience, gain a powerful marketing tool that offers dozens of uses, website, video sharing sites, social media, email, DVDs, direct mail, lobby video, resumes, profile building, all that kind of stuff. Association with the nationally syndicated celebrity. That's right. And let's talk about AHA Studios. AHA is a strategic marketing firm that leverages the powerful in visual persuasion to help your business create powerful messages that connect with your target market. AHA ventures way beyond strategy, delivering the marketing collateral you need to start driving a new business through your doors. AHA has a full-service, in-house, state-of-the-art production studio to bring your messages to life using video. Discover how to make The Interview work for you. Call 949-831-2222. That's 949-831-2222. AHA Image Studios, Incorporated. Dr. Stephen Tidwell, General Family Dentistry in a caring, personalized environment. Here at Dr. Tidwell's office, we are dedicated to helping you keep your teeth healthy. We are a state-of-the-art dental practice that still believes in traditional values, such as excellent customer service and individual attention. We have a special welcoming offer for you for just $39, a complete exam, personal consultation, professional cleaning, and all necessary x-rays. That's a $266 value for $39. Dr. Tidwell has 2 convenient locations and experienced staff to provide you with professional care and personal attention that you deserve. Call today. Don't delay. A great smile another day. Call 909-944-7308. That's 909-944-7308 for Rancho Cucamonga or San Bernardino. Joel Saltzman is Dr. Wireless. He has turned his considerable expertise into consumer credit risk and wireless security into a highly specialized independent web-based consulting enterprise targeting consumer credit risk analysis and wireless transactional security and monitoring. He works as a wireless analyst, veteran independent agent, and consumer liaison for most wireless telecom carriers and equipment manufacturers. For more than 20 years, corporate and private clients and media audiences have counted on his unvarnished advice while weighing the technology, performance, and cost differences between Sprint, Nextel, AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. Joel specializes in setting up mobile wireless hotspots to be used for disaster preparedness, business continuity, and mobile wireless merchant processing solutions. Call Dr. Wireless at 310-400-4900 or go to his webpage at drwireless.com. Again, call 310-400-4900 or his webpage at drwireless.com. You'll be glad you did. And now, back to our show.
Robert Cardoza. You're listening to Robert Cardoza live on the street at the intersection of business and politics. And it's time for our tribute to the late, great Paul Harvey and the rest of the story. You know what? The American Broadcasting Company calls him the biggest voice in America. He's Paul Harvey, and each week, millions of listeners, viewers, and readers would await his unraveling of the mysteries of events and the lives of people past and present. He was heard on over 1,400 radio stations, seen on 110 television stations, and he was read in over 300 newspapers. The rest of the story has for years been exploring the byways of history with revelations that are intriguing, amusing, and surprising. Well, today's story is The Forgotten King. Yeah. You know what? Of England's early kings, he was perhaps the best loved. Yet, history has all but forgotten him. We know that he ruled during the 3rd century. We know that he ascended to the throne after the death of Asclepiad. We know that his pleasant nature helped to soothe the savage times in which he lived. We know that his daughter was a skilled musician, and we know little else. Today, all that's left of him is an earthwork amphitheater in Colchester, and something more. Something which survives the reign of that ancient king to tell us the rest of the story. Historians are not agreed as to when English history begins. Many choose the mid-5th century as a starting point, if only because this period marks the departure of the Romans from English soil. So let's go back a little bit further. During Christ's time, England was occupied by an ancient tribe known as the Celts. Now, it would take 4 centuries for Christianity to be recognized in that northern territory. In AD 43, the Romans invaded England. Governing the Celts was an easy proposition until the 3rd century. That's the time that the Anglos and the Saxons and the Jutes began moving in for a piece of the action. Among the earliest of those Roman kings to defend England against invading tribes was this one in particular. His reign is mentioned briefly by 2 ancient writers, Geoffrey of Monmouth and Robert of Gloucester. We see his 3rd century king as remarkable for his era in that rulers of those days had reputations for negligence, unscrupulousness, thievery, and murder. Not this king. Geoffrey and Robert characterize him as brave yet even-tempered, as capable yet good-humored. So respected, so popular was he that even his daughter's accomplishments were recorded. Little else known of this beneficent king. It is not as though the 4 centuries during which the Romans ruled England have dropped into obscurity. After all, the fabled King Arthur was one of those early Roman kings. His Camelot is under excavation. His life and times are of great interest to scholars. Yet, this other king, the gentle king of the 3rd century, is all but overlooked in history books. We do not remember the specific dates of his reign, nor are the wars in which he fought recounted in prose or poetry. In fact, we know nothing of him at all. Were it not for the ancient chroniclers Geoffrey and Robert, were it not for the earthwork Roman amphitheater which exists to this day in Gloucester, were it not for a few lines of verse written about him, the 3rd century author of those lines is unknown. Perhaps he was a court jester or a nobleman or a man in the street. Regardless of who is responsible, today we have greater insight into the temperament of an ancient king because someone took the time to make a rhyme. In this, the forgotten king has achieved a degree of immortality. It goes, Old King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he. He called for his pipe, and he called for his bowl, and he called for his fiddlers 3. The real, the original King Cole. And now you know the rest of the story. Well, don't forget to tune into our show tomorrow. We're going to have Sean LaFave here. Sean and I will be talking about healthcare on his Geared for Wellness Corner. And I'm going to continue our tribute to the late, great Paul Harvey and the rest of the story. Tomorrow's story is all about Brother Bob. Yeah, you're not going to know what that's all about anyway. So listen, in the meantime, I want you to tell all your friends about our show on the RLC Broadcasting Network. They'll be glad you did. You'll be glad you did. And I promise you, I'll be glad you did too.
That's our show for today. Beginning today, treat everyone you meet as if they were going to be dead by midnight. Extend them all the care, kindness, and understanding that you can muster. Your life will never be the same again. So many of our dreams at first seem impossible, then they seem improbable, and then when we summon the will, they soon become inevitable. You know, the real secret of happiness is to make others believe that they're the cause of it. Robert Cardoza Live is brought to you by blogtalkradio.com every Monday through Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific Time. Now, go out and make it a great day. Your host has been Robert Cardoza, the technical advisor, Matchstick Digital, and your executive producer, also Robert Cardoza.